Tom had it all: a beautiful wife, Emily, and two wonderful children. Their laughter filled their home, a testament to their happiness. They took yearly vacations, creating cherished memories. Life was a picturesque postcard. Tom had a successful career, providing comfortably for his family. His life was the envy of many, yet a seed of restlessness grew within him.
I felt a strange disconnect, a void I couldn't explain. The routine, once comforting, now felt suffocating. Was this all there was?
Tom yearned for something more, something different. He craved excitement, a break from the predictability. His desires, though unspoken, set the stage for a life-altering decision. One rainy Thursday evening, Tom found himself drawn to a dimly lit bar. He'd never been the type to frequent such places. The music was loud, the air thick with smoke. At the back, on a small stage, danced Jasmine. Her movements, fluid and alluring, captivated him. She was like a siren drawing him into her world. In her eyes, he saw an escape from his mundane reality.
She listened attentively as I poured out my heart, my dissatisfaction with life. I felt understood, validated. I started believing I'd found something real, something meaningful.
Jasmine was an illusion, a fleeting moment of excitement. Night after night, Tom found himself drawn back to the bar, to Jasmine. The dim lights and the soft hum of conversations created a world where reality seemed to blur. He showered her with expensive gifts, craving her attention. Each gift was a token of his growing obsession, a desperate attempt to win her over. He was blinded by her charm, his judgment clouded. Her laughter was like a melody he couldn't resist, pulling him deeper into her spell.
I told myself it was love, this feeling I had for her. I convinced myself that she was the one, the missing piece in my life. In reality, it was infatuation, a dangerous obsession. I was lost in a fantasy, unable to see the truth.
He started neglecting his family, his responsibilities. The more he chased Jasmine, the more he drifted away from his real life. His calls went unanswered, his excuses flimsy. Friends and family began to worry, but he was too far gone to notice. Guilt gnawed at him, yet he couldn't pull away. The more he tried to justify his actions, the deeper his guilt grew.
When I whispered promises of a life together, a life of freedom and passion, he listened with eager ears. He was ready to risk it all. The allure of a new beginning was too tempting to resist.
He left his wife, his children, his life behind. The weight of his decision was heavy, but he convinced himself it was worth it. For a woman he barely knew. In the end, he was chasing an illusion, a dream that would never come true. Tom rented them an apartment, a place he thought would be their sanctuary. It was a love nest, far away from his old life, a fresh start he believed they both needed.
I gave Jasmine access to my accounts, blinded by my love and trust in her. I believed we were building a future together, a dream we both shared. I was happy, or at least I convinced myself I was, ignoring the small signs.
One day Jasmine was gone without a trace. The apartment was empty, stripped bare of all their belongings. His money, his savings, all gone, vanished into thin air. The phone number she'd given him, disconnected, unreachable. The woman he'd staked his life on, the woman for whom he'd left everything behind, had vanished without a word.
The realization hit me hard, like a punch to the gut. I had been a fool, blinded by lust and the allure of the unknown, chasing a fantasy. I'd traded my family, my happiness, for an empty dream, a mirage that disappeared as quickly as it came.
Lost and broken, Tom returned to his hometown, his heart heavy with regret. He went to his old house, the house filled with years of laughter and love. A stranger answered the door.
Is Emily here?
His voice barely a whisper. The woman's face softened, pity clouding her eyes.
Emily doesn't live here anymore. She remarried a few years ago. Her husband Richard is a good man.
The word struck him like a physical blow. Emily had moved on. He couldn't blame her. He'd made his choice, and this was the consequence. The weight of his actions crushed him, pressing down on his soul with an unbearable force. He'd thrown away a love so pure, so rare, for a fleeting illusion that now seemed so meaningless. He'd traded the warmth of family for the cold reality of his betrayal, a decision that left him empty and desolate. Now he was alone, haunted by the ghosts of his past, unable to escape the memories that tormented him. He saw their faces everywhere, in the laughter of children in the park, in the loving glances of couples walking hand in hand, reminders of what he had lost.
My dreams are haunted by what could have been. Family dinners, holidays, the simple joy of being surrounded by love, moments that now only exist in my imagination.
He was a ghost in his own life, forever marked by his folly, drifting through days without purpose or direction. He'd spent the rest of his days carrying the burden of his choices, the consequences of his actions etched deep within his soul, a constant reminder of his mistakes. The price of fleeting pleasure, a lifetime of regret, a heavy toll that he would pay every single day.